Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents. Got a little bit of Tony Terry playing in the background. Gonna turn down the volume on little Tony just a little bit. Well, we already got him down as far as he can go, so sorry about that. He ain't that loud. I already listened to the last video. Look in your eyes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look, to extend the period during which direct obligations of the United States may be used as collateral security for Federal Reserve notes. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to type that in your Google search. You're going to pull up this document. Everyone in the world. Everyone in the world. I want everyone in the world to know it's for real, y'all. Revised for print. This is what they did, ladies and gentlemen, when you all weren't looking. Hearings before the Committee on Banking and Currency, House of Representatives, the 75th Congress, first session. Excuse me, the 75th Congress. Did any of you guys hear about this? Huh? To extend the period during which direct obligations of the United States may be used as collateral security for Federal Reserve notes. This happened in 1937. Whoa. No, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't actually happen in 1937. This happened shortly after they did it the first time. Now they extended the period. I don't know how long they extended the period, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? You get to go do the research. Okay? This is the government printing office. It's the official document. Everything is going to be all right, y'all. Committee on Banking and Currency. You want to find out what was really going on, what the intentions of Congress really was? Then you need to take a look. Okay? The committee met at 10:30 a.m. and the Honorable Henry Stegall, you guys know Stegall, the Stegall Act, was presiding. The chairman was Echoes. Whenever you are ready for the committee, we shall be very pleased to hear you. The Senate has passed Senate Document 417, which is identical to H.R. 2302. Does anybody know what H.R. 2302? Well, I suggest you guys do some research to find out. He says, and there was no objections. What's he mean there was no objections? Because nobody knew. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, ladies. Okay, first.
Let's find out what's going on, y'all. Sorry, my computer, I need to get to the hand symbol so that I can scroll y'all on up. Okay, if there's no objection, we'll proceed to consider the Senate bill, which reporter will insert at this point. And they put the Senate bill. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out. Now, we're not going to read the whole bill. We just need to know what it talks about. An act to extend the period during which direct obligations of the United States may be used as collateral security for Federal Reserve notes. Remember, they did not say that the collateral security was supposed to be for Federal Reserve notes at first. It was only later that they said it could be used as collateral security for Federal Reserve notes. Pay attention. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America Congress assembled. Doesn't say General Assembly like all the others, but they were still in General Assembly. That the second paragraph of Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act as amended is amended to read as follows. Any Federal Reserve Bank may make application to the local Federal Reserve agent, the bank, for such amounts of Federal Reserve notes herein before provided for as it may require. Such application shall be accompanied with a tender, pay attention, to the local Federal Reserve agent of collateral in amount equal to the sum of the Federal Reserve note thus supplied for, and issued pursuant to such application. The collateral security thus offered shall be notes, drafts, bills of exchange, or acceptances acquired under the provisions of Section 13 of this Act. Federal Reserve Act, by the way. Pay attention. And many of you would behoove yourselves to do some research on this. Okay? It says are bills of exchange endorsed by a member bank of the Federal Reserve District. So yes, that's why the banks put their endorsement on there. Okay? Bills of exchange, let's do this right here. Bills of exchange endorsed by a member bank of the Federal Reserve District. Okay, purchased under provision 14 of this Act. Or banker's acceptance purchased under provision of said Section 14. Or governors of the Federal Reserve System may, should it deem so, in the public interest. How can the Federal Reserve Board governor determine what's in the public interest? Upon affirmative vote of not less than the majority of its members, authorize the Federal Reserve Bank to offer and the Federal Reserve agent to accept such collateral securities, direct obligations of the United States. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, they have to provide us a remedy. I'm going to need all of you to go over this act, this whole congressional session, because it is going to tell you what our remedy may be, or where to find the remedy. And Section 14 of the Federal Reserve Act would be very important to review, peruse. And so I'm going to thank Mr. John, Mr. Alman, for providing this information to me, because I had not seen this before. At the close of business, on such date or sooner, should the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System so decide, such authoritation or authorization shall terminate, and such obligation of the United States be retired as, pay attention, it says, be retired as securities of the Federal Reserve Note. Okay. In no event shall such collateral security be less than the amount of the Federal Reserve Notes applied for. So when you took out a loan, they issued your own property as collateral. This is my opinion. I cannot prove that. But it would be interesting to say that in court. Your Honor, Federal Reserve Notes? No, they didn't issue Federal Reserve Notes. They issued my own property as collateral. Okay, it says, in no event shall such collateral security be less than the amount of Federal Reserve Notes applied for. Federal Reserve Notes is not what they lent you, ladies and gentlemen. They lent you an obligation of the United States. How is it possible for you to receive an obligation of the United States in exchange for a loan? Impossible. They didn't issue you Federal Reserve Notes because they can't give you Federal Reserve Notes, because Federal Reserve Notes are issued to the Federal Reserve and are the Federal Reserve members and for no other purpose. Okay, 12 U.S.C. 411. The Federal Reserve agent shall each day notify the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System of all issues and withdrawals of Federal Reserve Notes to and by the Federal Reserve Bank to which it is accredited. And the said Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System may at any time call upon the Federal Reserve Bank for additional security to protect the Federal Reserve Note issued to it. Who issues the Federal Reserve Notes? The United States government through the United States Treasury, the Bureau of Printing and Engraving. That's how they get their Federal Reserve Notes. Ladies and gentlemen, they wanted to extend the period. The chairman, Mr. Echoes, will proceed in your own way, sir. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the actual hearing. This is the actual transcript of the hearing. This document is, I can't see, it's just too small. Looks like it's 58 pages. Well, either way, take a look at what the intentions of Congress was This is the intentions of Congress, ladies and gentlemen. You guys heard of the Glass-Steagall Act. Well, this is Steagall. That's the whole thing about the Glass-Steagall Act. Remember, they retired the Glass-Steagall Act. It don't mean nothing. No, this is Patti LaBelle. Before, I think that was Atlantic Starr singing about lovers and secrets and stupidity. Then we got Somebody Being on Their Own with Michael McDonald and Patty. Okay. Said our love will always be true. See? Oh, by the way, when this song was done, the reason why you don't see them in the same room is because Patty did this song in one location and Michael did his portion of the song in another location and they mixed it together. Okay? Liked it when it happened. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, just wanted to bring you this. We told you it's all about government obligation. Pay attention so that you get it. Extending the period of obligations as securities. They take and they use all of the homes as securities for the United States. So, as I told you in a previous video earlier today, you can take your mortgage, deposit it into the court, put it in as collateral for paying back the stupid bank. Pay attention. We are asking for an extension of the power of the government bond as collateral back of Federal Reserve notes. Okay? U.S. obligation. They didn't say nothing about government bonds, but they're speaking about government bonds now. Okay? That's why they allow derivatives and hedge funds, ladies and gentlemen, so they could hypothecate the value of the Federal Reserve notes. They are valueless, but only because they are backed by the credit of the nation. You guys do understand what's going on here. We have, many of us, told you guys that Federal Reserve notes are worthless and less. Let's get past this. And nope, this is not the website I'm supposed to be on. Nope, not that one. I gotta go someplace, but I gotta pause y'all, cause sorry, that's people's emails. I can't show them. It cuts like a knife, y'all. Let me explain something to you guys. The money, the Federal Reserve notes, remember, they're not talking about Federal Reserve bank notes. They're talking about Federal Reserve notes here. And this is March 9, 1933. Even though we have a conversation with Congress saying that the collateral will be backed by Federal Reserve bank notes, they're literally talking about Federal Reserve notes here. The money will be worth 100 cents on the dollar. Remember, 100 cents on the dollar, 100 cents on the dollar. Pay attention. Pay attention, 100 cents on the dollar. There's no difference between a coin dollar and a paper dollar or a note dollar. They have equal value. But remember, a dollar is a note, a Federal Reserve note, which means it is an obligation of the United States. So you can use a dollar to discharge your entire mortgage. The court will look at you like you're stupid. That's why I say it's going to take somebody who understands how to communicate with the court to get that across and to win that argument. But we're getting back to the point. The money will be worth 100 cents on the dollar because it is backed by the credit of the nation, because it's a government obligation. It will represent, not that it is a mortgage, but it will represent a mortgage on all of the homes and other property of all the people of the nation. Why? Because they're all owned by the government. And so they've collateralized everything and everyone. Sorry, I didn't say this. Congress said this. So when the court says that you guys are propagating that sovereign or patriot, whatever, let them say that. Say then that means Congress. Sorry, I put you guys on pause when I was trying to put the music on pause. So I apologize. Let me put the music on pause. Who we playing? The Spinners? We ain't gonna play the Spinners right now, y'all. Y'all know I love this song. Love Don't Love Nobody Because It Takes a Fool to Learn. Whew. I love this song, y'all. This is my song. This is my song. This is my song. But we ain't gonna play that right now because we're about to bring this video to an end, because I was about to go and get myself some relaxation. because I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I just wanted to bring to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about, and you keep hearing me say, government obligations. That's the catchword here. There are certain words in law that they use on purpose. They are called catchphrases. So the ownership of all property is in the state. That's the catchphrase there. We don't care about individual so-called ownership. We don't care about only by virtue of government. Okay? We don't care about that because that's not the point. It says in accordance or subordinate to the necessities of the state interests come first. That's what that is saying. What's next? It says under the new law. What new law? The March 9, 1933 law. The money is issued to the banks in return for government obligations. Why would it be issued to the banks at all? Why are they issuing money to the banks? The government is producing the money. Why are they giving it to the banks? Why not give it to the people? Where is the people involved? This is how we know the government was bankrupt. Okay? This is how we know that they were bankrupt. We don't have to prove that, ladies and gentlemen. We know this to be fact. Why? Because they collateralized everything. They made it all collateral. They allowed the banks to use it as collateral because the money they issued to the bank was supposed to be worth 100 cents on a dollar because it was backed by the credit of the nation. That was their value. Remember, there has to be value and consideration. The value was they gave the money to the bank. The consideration was the bank wouldn't foreclose on them. Okay, but you can't go into court saying that because we don't have a document from Congress saying that. We just know that there must always be value and consideration. And you can't have the value being the money being backed by the credit of the nation, and then it representing a mortgage on all the homes of all the people and their property. You can't have that being your value and consideration. Why? Because that means the bank received all of the value and the consideration. The law does not allow that. The banks would have to give up something. What did they give up? And it can't be because they help run the financial system, they help Congress. No, that's not it. Sorry, can't do that because they're not helping us because the people, the power comes from the people. So the people needed their value. Where was it? I'm going to let you guys figure that out. Now that you know where to start, that's what this is about. Okay? Gotta go. Have a good day. Y'all, peace out.